Greetings and salutations. In today's video, I will demonstrate how to download documents from hyperlinks in emails. We are going to target emails in a mailbox from a certain address. These emails will all be formatted the same way and contain a link to a document that we will download and rename based on the content of that email. This will all be done in Power Automate. Let's get to it. Okay, this is our sample mailbox. There are a few test emails in here. So we are going to target specifically these two emails. They are both in a similar format. They are notice of service documents. There are filing numbers, filing time, etc. And they both follow the same format. As you can see, they have a link here that will take you to a document that you want to download. So we want to automatically download all documents associated with these emails. In this example, they will always come from a set email address and follow the same uniform format. So these will be our target emails, and once our email has been processed, it will be moved to an archive folder here. So we will comb through these emails, find our target emails, find the links, download the document, then move the email to an archive folder. So let's go ahead and launch Power Automate and open a new blank flow. So our first step will be to retrieve the emails from our mailbox, but I want to get these emails differently. I want to get these emails without launching Outlook or any mail application like Exchange or a web browser. Essentially, I want to get these emails behind the scenes, so to speak. Download the associated documents and move the emails to a different folder. So this can be done over the IMAP protocol. If we just search for email, we will use the retrieve email action. We specify our IMAP server, our port, our username, which is invoices@aipsolutions.tech. We specify our password. We can expand our filters, and we want to target our inbox mail folder. We want to retrieve all email messages. We will mark it as read. Actually, let's turn that off. We will leave it as is. The emails will always come from a specific email address that we specify here. We won't save any attachments as there are none. And it's going to go in our variable retrieved emails. Save that. Okay, so if we run this, let's see what we get. Well, this is how our mailbox looks. There are 5 total emails, but we should only get 2 from our target email address. So our variable here should have a total of 2 emails. Okay, so if we run this and view our variable, we can see there are 2 items. And if we hit more, we get more information regarding that email. Okay, so now that we have successfully retrieved our target emails, We're going to have to loop over these emails to process them one at a time. So let's look at loops and pick just the regular loop. We will start from 1 and end with the count of our retrieved emails. And we will increment by 1. And this will produce our numbered variable called a loop index. Okay. So now let's set our variable where we will loop over our body. If we look at our retrieved emails and more, we see our body property, which is essentially our HTML tags, which will contain the link to download the document. It will be somewhere within this text. So, retrieved emails, number, and body. So let's set our variable. In here, let's call this body. Our value is going to be retrieved emails. We will specify our loop index -1 because we start counting from 0, but our loop starts from 1. And then we want our body property. And we get that information by referencing it like this. Now let's retrieve our body, run that, and look at our body variable. And great, we have our HTML tags. Now we will need to parse this text to target our download. Okay, now that we have the body of our email in HTML format, we have to parse that text. So let's add the action of parse text. The text to parse field should be our body. The text to find, we will use a regular expression. Essentially, all links in HTML code will follow a certain format, and we will use regular expressions to find this format. I will break this down exactly what we're doing here with this gibberish. We're going to find the first occurrence only, so there should only be one occurrence. And this will produce two variables, the index position in the text and the actual text that it matches. So save that. So let's look at the text that we're going to parse. Copy this into a notepad for a better look. So you can see this is the line that we will target as it is a link to the document. It has a href equals, and then within the quotes, the link to download the document. So if we go back and look at our regular expression, we have a question mark less than equal to href backslash equals backslash quotes, where the backslash is an escape sequence. So essentially, this will look for href equal quotes and give me everything after that. So we see here href equal quotes, and then get everything up until our question, where we define our question mark to be equal to doc. So give me everything after href equals up to doc. So if we look at our target line, we will get everything from here, not including the quotes, up until right before doc. So we will capture this highlighted section with our regular expression. So then we store that match in our match variable. So if we run that and check our match variable, we can see we successfully grabbed our link to download the document. So we have extracted our link from our HTML body code. So let's download it from the web with this action. But if we look at our link, it would not work because it's missing the .doc extension. So we will have to add that back in. So in our action, the URL will be our match variable plus doc at the end. We will use the get method, and we want to save to disk. We will keep the original name for now, but this will change later. Here we specify where we want the file to save. And everything else can be left at default. And our produce variable will be the downloaded file. If we check our download directory, currently no files are sitting here, just a cache folder. So let's run this and see if we get our files. So we have one document here, but we know there should be two because we have two emails we are targeting. Well, that's because both files are stored on the server with the same name. So we will need to rename the file, and we will rename it by referencing the link name in our email. So now we want to rename our document based on the name provided in the email, which is the filing number. So if we looked at the received emails, and we look at body text this time, we can see the filing number, which is the file name, is here in line 6. And both emails will be formatted the same way, so they will always land on this line number. So first, let's retrieve our body text. So set a variable and call it body text. We will target retrieved emails based on the loop index -1, and then we target the body text property and save that. So if we run that, and look at our body text, we have our email text. So now we need that particular line. So let's run a split text action. Our text is split will be our body text. It will be standard. Our delimiter will be a new line character, and we will do this one time. This will then output to text list. So let's run this and see what text list looks like. So we have our list now and can now reference a particular line by the preceding number, 5. So if we go back to download from web action and edit that, change the file name to specify. So we include the path, with our variable now, which is text list. But we only want that particular line, which can be referenced by the number 5. And we manually add the extension of .doc and save that. If we go back to our folder and delete the downloaded file, and check our emails, so we should have a sample123.doc as well as a sample456.doc. So if we run this, Okay, and look at our folders. We see two files and they are both named correctly. Okay, so let's go over exactly what we are doing here. First thing we do is retrieve email messages with the IMAP protocol, eliminating the need to target emails through applications. We download emails from a certain email, but can just as easily target emails by subject. We store those emails in retrieved emails variable. We loop over these retrieved emails and set our variable body. Body is the HTML breakdown of our email, which will contain the link that we want to download. We then set our body text, which is essentially just the text of the email. We split our body text by new lines so that we can reference each line in our email by a number and assign that to text list variable. Then we parse our body text and look for href equals quote and get everything after that but before DOC. We then store that in our match variable. We then use that match variable, add back our DOC, download it, and save it to our folder, referencing that particular line we want to rename the file to, and manually add the extension. So now, after we download the file and rename it, let's move the email to the archive folder. We do that by adding the process email message action. We reference the email by the retrieved emails with our index. And we move it to our archive folder, which is referenced by inbox.archive. We then specify our IMAP server details again. With the mailbox username and password, and save that. So if we run this again, after we delete the files, this is our emails that should be moved to the archive folder. Let's run it. We re-downloaded our files. Okay, great. And our emails are now in the archive folder. Okay, great. So that completes today's video. Hopefully you found it somewhat useful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. And again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. This has been brought to you by AIP Solutions.